Morning Riz, how are you doing mate? How's it going dude? Good morning guys. Yeah, I've just been spamming out the links for yesterday's sculpt. It took ages to process the video last night and I didn't have time to kind of actually finish it off before I had to go to bed. So I tried to get it done this morning and it takes an age to get uploaded onto YouTube, so yeah, you got the YouTube video for it and get a little mooch at yesterday's speed sculpt. If you want to skip to the end, here's the dude. Oh no, that's not him. Here he is. So 3 hours or 3.5 hours when you account for the Zbrush crash. I don't know if it worked particularly much quicker, to be honest. I think this guy was just quicker because he hasn't got any weapons and armour. Like, I decided because he was going to be a burglar, I wasn't going to like tool him up and kit him out. So just give him his bag, made him look like a little rough bastard. That was it then, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just generally a quicker sculpt because of that. Not necessarily because I was working particularly faster. I say it's actually easy to get distracted when you're not streaming as well. He says getting distracted as I'm streaming. It's just yeah, I ain't gonna do that, mate. Let's jump it. Yeah, he's definitely got a thuggish look about him, hasn't he? Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the, I'm just going to hide the ruler. I'm actually going to just shortcut a little bit here because I've already sculpted the base of a halfling. What I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to auto group. I'm just going to remove few bits. I'm going to make this this female halfling druid. Let's see if I can't beat 3.5 hours. Yeah, I think I said in the video, in the YouTube video, kind of right up, that it's done as a pipeline, a production workflow to try and get models made fast. So I'm cutting corners and taking shortcuts where I can. So we're going to do the same again right now. So I'm going to delete a few. Oh, turds. That was a fail, wasn't it? I know exactly why that's happened. Let's just merge that back down. Let's pop him in the middle of the scene. Okay. Now let's isolate that. Do mirror and weld. Let's get rid of the scar. We're going to soften the face, we're going to remove the mutton chops, and we're going to turn this into a female halfling. So how are you doing today, Riz, anyway? Been a good day for you? Yeah. What's up, man? One of them, is it? Feel your pain, mate. Deadlines you got on at work then? Do I use calendars? Sometimes. We have a calendar on the wall in the kitchen, so my wife writes all over it, and I have to remember to check it every so often or I'll get told off. Yeah, I probably don't check it as much as she would like me to. I tend to use the one on my phone more than anything else, so I put dates in my phone if I need to. Calendar online. So I don't know if I'd remember to check it. I kind of need it in my hand. The phone calendar's the kind of the ideal one for me, especially with appointments, because I've noticed that if I'm going somewhere, I can put the address of the place I'm going in my phone, and it will give me reminders like, you need to leave now. If you want to get to this appointment, go now. And I quite like that. Do you know what? I'm going to close the mouth. We're not going to have an open mouth for this one. Why is it whenever somebody writes "get to the chopper," you've got to kind of, you feel compelled to shout it out in a kind of an Arnie voice? I'm not going to. But the compulsion's there. The hell, scribe standard? I've never used that one before. You ever used scribe standard? I don't even know it was a thing. I've literally never heard of it, never seen it, never used it, and yet it's appeared in my I've overwritten my move brush with it somehow, so. I mean, only temporarily, it's not like it's a permanent thing, but. It is, especially when you don't notice it and you start working, like, what the hell's going on? The worst one is when you do, you know, when you're trying to smooth something and you've accidentally overwritten your smoothing brush. Usually I end up putting like my move or my clay build up onto smooth, like by accident. And then I go to smooth something and I end up like pulling the mesh all over the place. It's a real pain in the ass, isn't it? Right, let's work on this and make this a little bit more feminine. Don't need to go completely perfectly feminine because what I could do, I could refine it a good way and then save it out as a pinging my phone away. Yeah.
The magic of Christmas with Lidl is last
Bloody ads.
I'm putting yours to marinate.
What I could do, I could refine it a good way and then save it. Give me a second, guys. Morning, Joe. Hope you're doing well, matey. And Ian. Good morning, Ian. How you doing, mate? Better let that water slab go through, actually. Hey Joe, how you doing, mate? Mate, I'm loving your creatures lately. Since you were doing the stuff with me, your artwork is just absolutely leveled up to epic proportions, mate. And it's really good to see you getting all like the success on like your social media and stuff. Very well deserved, guys. If you're not already following him, Itchan Joe on Facebook, check him out because absolutely awesome creature artist. Doesn't do 3D yet. Don't know if he's planning on, but we've worked together on a couple of bits in the past. In fact, he helped me design the Ifrit model and a couple of other bits that I've still not got around to doing, unfortunately. Actually, the Drake and the Behemoth are still outstanding. I've still got to do them. They're sitting in my to-do pile and they still have been for ages. So let's get them ready and released, I think, soon. I don't want to change the proportions of like the legs or anything else too much because I think the size of this is a 32mm scale miniature. It's kind of small enough already. You know what I mean? It's already going to be about 22mm. And if I reduce the size too much, the risk is that everything becomes pointless. Hey, how you doing? Everything else, you've been to the gym again? Or you got man flu? So what, speaking of gyms and diet and stuff like, oh, you remodelled your room, nice. How are your monitors, by the way? Or your monitor? Oh, wicked, yeah, post them up, man, can't wait to see them. Just put them in general, I reckon. I wasn't quick enough to get the little notifications that popped up then. Dude, that is enormous, that thing is. We're talking about a monitor, by the way, so... so, yeah. Aid's gone out and bought a phenomenally massive monitor. It's cost him a whole year's salary. Hasn't really. Might as well have. Probably feels like it has. Nice, man. Notice you got your spot right next to the radiator, good man. That is crazy big though, that is. It's as bent as it looks, I think. Bloody autosave. God, that looks really bizarre, doesn't it, with the bit of the neck up here and the eyes and the ears floating around. Shrunk the shoulder muscles. Simply that, actually. So cable management's good on it. I didn't notice your cables actually, which is a good thing I suppose, isn't it? My desk is just an absolute mess of cables. I don't even want to show you the back of my desk. I've even got one of those little cable boxes for like putting plugs and stuff into to try and like hide a load of it, but there's just so much trailing all over the place. I'm about to put my PC up on the desktop. I could probably put it down below actually again now. To be fair, but I had to put it up on top of the desktop because it was in the summer, it was kicking out heat. This is when I was using Keyshot though, I suppose. Keyshot was causing the thing to kick out ridiculous heat. When I had the computer under the desk, it was like literally just on fire. Not literally on fire, like, you know what I mean, but it was it was so hot under there that under the desk it was unbearable for me to actually sit there. So yeah, so I ended up having to put the computer up on the top so it didn't burn my legs under the desk. But I'm relatively happy with that as a female base mesh. Do you know what, let me just let me put the head back on. Let's merge the ruler down. I'm colourblind. It probably wouldn't make that much difference to me. I probably won't be able to tell the difference between a good one and a bad one. To be fair, it's potluck whether my stuff looks good or not. Let's turn dynamic off. Right, I'm going to let's give her some jubblies. Get the old boobies brush out. Pink. I hope you're taking the piss. It's supposed to just be grey. I know you're winding me up now. Yeah, it doesn't affect me too much. I've learned to cope with it for the most part, but there's certain things where it does kind of like, you know, creep in and become an issue. Obviously, I'm painting models a lot, so that's one of the areas that can be quite tricky. Actually, on the topic of painting models, I just want to show you something quick. What, when did I figure out I was colourblind? I was at primary school and we did one of those colourblind tests when we had the optician come in to check everyone's eyes, and they kind of picked it up then. Yeah, I know, really young. But I've said a few times, like there was a girl I went to secondary school with, and I remember we were doing PE, and the PE kit at secondary school, as you'll know, Riz, was red t-shirt, black shorts. And red's one of the colours I'm really bad with. So we were running around in red t-shirts and stuff, and then one of the girls, Kerry, found out that I was colourblind, couldn't see red, got all sheepish and whatnot, thinking I was watching her running around topless, or in a bra at least. And I'm like, that'd be a bloody superpower. That's X-ray vision. That's not like a mild disability as a colour blindness. It's something totally different. So it's always funny how you have to explain it to people. Oh yeah, I know. So do I. Yeah, lady in red would have a completely different angle then, wouldn't it? I'm trying to show you. Google Photos, that's what I'm after. So I did some painting on tarot from Crystal Collapse. Oh, and I don't think I've even got the bloody models. have to post photos. I'll post photos in Discord later. I haven't got the I think I took them and sent them straight to Max. I don't think I actually. Here we go. I'll show you how. I was doing a little bit of painting on him last night. Not last night, the other night. A couple of nights back. Obviously, I'd have probably showed you yesterday if I was on streams, but didn't make it on. But he was an interesting one because he's got this big, like, alchemy potion bottle on his back. When it wants to load. No? There we go. Trying to paint this with, like, looking like it's got liquid in it is freaking hard work. Yeah, I don't buy it. I can't figure out that they can properly be effective. I mean, for me, I don't think I struggle too much with the painting, but I'm never quite sure what colours I am using. I read the bottle and stuff, and you know, you can't kind of get an idea of what paints I'm on. Yeah, I struggle to see how, like, something that's like an issue with your brain interpreting colours and stuff can be resolved with glasses. Do you know what I mean? That's my. See, I've seen people in, like, I have seen people in what do you call it? Like, there's a colourblind painters group on Facebook, and I have seen people in there kind of praising them, saying that they've invested in the pair and they've been really good. But equally, like I say, I struggle to believe it'd be an actual thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, go on, Riz. Fire 'em up, mate. So if I remember you from school, then. So I'm sure we got to have been there roughly about the same time. What, the PE kit? Love it, mate. I won't show it on screen. I love the old 90s bowl cut. No, mate. I actually didn't go there for the. I didn't go to Colmers as a junior school. I went out to secondary. I wasn't at the junior school. I know it's on the same, you know, just at the back, weren't it, if I remember right. But the I didn't go to. I went to St James Catholic School just round the corner for primary and infant. Let's just save this, export this one, save it as DK. No, halfling aid. Could use it as a dwarf base as well, but So now what I'm going to do is turn this into a halfling female. With a cape. Okay, so this is going to become a cape instead of a cowl. Halflings have a... I was reading something the other day about it, actually, and they were saying that like, how do you tell the difference between a gnome and a halfling? And basically the difference is basically the same kind of thing as humans and elves. So halflings are like a mundane, like human equivalent of a gnome, essentially. So the gnome's the magical being. The gnome's the magical one. The halfling is the, you know, the pedestrian kind of farmer type thing. And then gnomes have got the pointy ears, and halflings have got bigger ears than normal, but they're still rounded. Yeah, pretty much. Except Hobbit's copyrighted by Tolkien, so they're not allowed to use it. So hence halflings. Big hairy. Well, actually, in D&D they don't always have the hairy feet. That's kind of a personal flavour type thing. If you read a lot of the character descriptions of like halflings that feature in the books and whatever, like even Regis, for example, from the Legend of Driss books, he has boots. He doesn't have the hairy feet. So no, in the books they did. In the Hobbit, it describes them as having big feet with leathery soles and hairy toes. So the hairy feet is proper straight out of the books. That one is. I'm pretty sure it was in the right at the beginning of the Hobbit. They describe them. They might not have done it in the Lord of the Rings though. But obviously, when you're talking about Tolkien, you're pulling from all the sources. You've got the Silmarillion, you've got the what do you call it? The actual Hobbit series and the Lord of the Rings series. Because the Silmarillion was all the stuff that he put in the background and wrote about that he never properly published, and his son published, wasn't it? Or Christopher Tolkien put that one out. Well, finished it and then put it out. Right, let's do. It's going to be a druid. You got any ideas, Aid? What are you thinking? When do you think you'll be finished with the rabbit girl? Let's delete the trousers because she's going to be wearing robes, so you can see them. We'll wrap it up by the end of December. Fair enough. I'll start baking. What, you baking Christmas stuff, or just generally just fancied starting baking? Oh, normal mats. I thought you were just on about a change of scenery kind of thing, like, ooh, time to start making my Christmas cake. Bit of stollen, some mince pies. But no. I got that wrong. Do you know what though? You should start baking. Make some cakes. Bit of gingerbread. Get some Christmas goodness going on. You know, AFK things really bother the hell out of me lately. My son keeps playing them, and it's like you're just wasting your time with them, aren't you? Really, they're like, I know people get addicted to them and whatever else, but it's like they are just completely freaking pointless. It's like AFK, like you're literally playing a game that plays itself. Like I don't get it. What's to play? You know, what's the point in playing the game? It's like you might as well just like watch somebody else playing something. Yeah, exactly. It's just bizarre, isn't it? It's an odd concept. Play a game where you're not even playing a game. Yeah, that's it. Just watch telly instead. Watch something. Well, I was playing this Guardian's Tales, and to be fair, I was enjoying it. It was good. It was a decent little game for a while, and I played it from the beginning of lockdown to probably for about 2 years. To be fair, and every month they'd do like new releases. There'd be new characters coming out. You get new exclusive weapons for those characters, and you'd have the drops and stuff. But it was one of them things where you'd log in every day and there was always stuff you had to do. Tilda on YouTube, thank you for the sub. You'd have to log in every day and like earn your gems and do your daily quests and all this kind of stuff once you finish the game and stuff. And then it was it was like there's no point to what I'm doing. It's like I'm literally logging on every day, spending about 45 minutes to an hour doing the same things. Yeah. You log in every day, get your daily rewards. If you miss a day, it resets and you lose a load of stuff. So you've got to log in every day so you don't lose all your... It's like, no, it's just... You're just playing FOMO, aren't you? It's all you're doing. And then you got like you can log in every day and do your stuff, or you can pay to win and get your buy your gems and get your summons, all that kind of stuff. But then you're not guaranteed anything decent, so you could end up with a load of crap that you've paid for. So yeah, the whole thing, and I know we were talking about this before. We were talking about the whole thing about the whales, weren't we, before? Where like they don't want my business, for example, where I would quite happily spend £2 or £3 a month regular just to help myself advance and just pick up a little bonus or a skin or something like simple, little microtransactions, tiny ones, but they ain't interested in them. They just want the big wins. They want the whales to come along and spend 15-20 grand with them and a time. I was talking to somebody about it the other day and they were like, could I apply that logic and that theory to miniatures? I don't think you can you? I mean, I'll be honest, we talked about it. We talked about it for Crystal Collapse, because we were saying about the gachapon. Oh mate, I've got an 80 quid one where you get like 2 hours of my time, and I've got one subscriber on that who's using it at the moment, so just add them. But like, the bit I don't, the bit we were talking about, the gachapon thing, we were talking about it as a way of doing like random characters. So we were saying like for the we were saying what we'll do is we'll have like a load of different bodies for different character classes, and then we'll have loads of modular weapons and modular heads and stuff like that, and we'll put them all in like little gacha balls, and then you come along and buy a gacha ball, you get what you're a little surprise ball, you get a miniature in there but you don't know what it's going to be, and sometimes they could be like proper exclusive heroes, and other times they're going to be like modular characters. But yeah, we never we kind of haven't followed that one up. What's the Titanforge thing? What do you mean? Oh, that's not Titanforge, is it? That's what are they called? Hero Forge, that's it. Well, there are a couple of them around. There's one I've looked at. They're offering licensing, but they've not got back yet about it. And I have messaged them about licensing because I'd be interested in doing it. But yeah, it's just having somebody that can write the software for it, I think is the biggest hurdle. My Minifactory have got one called the Customizer, but the amount of headaches I've had with that it's not even worth doing. It's not even worth looking at. Honestly, it's and I had a couple of models on there, it worked fine, and then at some point it just stopped working, and people were buying models from there, customising them, and when they got the downloaded model, it was missing the bloody arms and things like that, and I'm like, I've got people messaging me going, oh, I've purchased this model, he's got no arms. I'm like, well, I only ship it with arms, what are you on about? The files come with arms. And then I realised they've gone through the customiser, they've used the customiser to do the model. And yeah, unfortunately, it's dropped the bloody arms off the file, and then I've got to kind of contact my mini factory to say, look, this guy's asked for the model with these arms, to combine them, and it ain't giving him the files. And I end up having to do it for him, and send him the files like manually to kind of like pick up their problems. It's doing my head in. Like everything they get involved in becomes a bloody headache. Guys, just for the avoidance of doubt, I've got no concept here, by the way. This is like with any sculpt I ever do, I'm winging it. Unless I've physically put a picture up on screen, I'm winging the sculpt. Let me just check the brief for this character. Make sure I'm not missing anything critical. Work takes too much time. What do you mean, eh? Like, you want to do other stuff, but you can't because you've got work to do. I'll be honest, I can't moan about my job. I used to all the time when I worked in offices and stuff. But for what I do now, aside from the actual business side of things and trying to, like, you know, generate, trying to do a million different things at once because you're your own boss and self-employed and the managing director, marketing person, IT person, you know, grafter, admin assistant, you know, apart from having to do everything myself, it's not bad. Maybe not that bit. I could try it, couldn't I? See if I could successfully pull that one off. Gonna move to Sweden. Is that just because you like the country, or is there a specific reason you wanted to go there, or? Just game studios you like, fair enough. PF is. Ah, right. What's that? What's the? What's that then? Oh, excuse me. Is this for the highly skilled migrants program, is it? God, they really are ramping it up, aren't they? I tell you, I really dislike this country at the moment. There's so much wrong. the way things are run and the way things are working. It's ridiculous. There's no kind of like, you know, we've been here this long, etc., etc. Is that not just, that's not for new applicants then? That's just like, if you want to carry on staying here, you've got to do this. Because they're complaining about like labour shortages and everything else, and then they're going to go and make it that much more hard for people to stay. Just a joke. It's almost like they want to break us, and oh yeah, they do. I saw a video yesterday, and it was this woman kind of crying on Instagram, which I don't like those videos anyway. I think they're ridiculous. Like, if you're gonna cry about stuff, do it at home. And like, you know, what do people like now use? Like, Instagram used to be like people showing off, weren't it? And kind of, you know, oh, look how fantastic my life is. Now it seems to be like loads of people going on there crying and airing their dirty laundry and stuff, and it's like, you know, stuff that you'd never want aired in public ever. It seems to just be like straight onto Instagram, and it's like, you know, why? It was a video of this girl who basically said, like, you know, she was like, after I've paid my rent and all my utility bills, I'm left with 600 quid a month. And then from that 600 quid a month, I've got to feed my family, put fuel in my car, pay for my car. And she's like, I put £100 a month away for my insurance. My insurance is £1,200 a year. So I pay for that annually, so we don't have to incur the extra charges of paying for it by direct debit. So we do it as a one-off payment. She says, but now my car insurance is going up on the renewal in January, from 1,200 to 1,800. So it's 50% more for her to afford. And she's like, and I've just been into Aldi, and I'm like, yeah, it's actually just better if I just don't eat this week. And it's a terrible state, you know what I mean? When we're supposed to be, you know, one of the richest countries in the world, and we've got, you know, people are going to work, and you actually can't afford to live whilst working a full-time job. It's just ridiculous. It's a proper sorry state to be in, isn't it? Save, hadn't I? Yeah, but Riz, the thing is that the whole thing about visa space fraud and stuff like that, they've created a system that allows that. Do you know what I mean? There's so many different countries that are managing it better than we do. We're just so slack with it. And then by the time they realise there's a problem, which people have been telling them forever, by the time they accept there's a problem, rather, they're kind of going, oh, now we got to deal with it. It's a drama. Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna do it, you want to ease the burden on things like the NHS. You want to ease the burden on kind of income support and all that kind of stuff. So you need to make sure that the people, the people you're allowing in, are self-sufficient. So as long as one of them is working and can earn enough to support the other one, shouldn't make a difference, should it? But obviously the spouse needs to be verified as a legitimate spouse. So you'd obviously have to make sure it's the same address. They'd have to be registered as voters. They'd have to share a bank account maybe or something like that. So to be honest, 37,000 to support both probably isn't a far cry from reality at the moment, unfortunately. But again, it depends. If the other one's working, I don't think that should apply. Do you know what I mean? As long as you can support yourself without without perm. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to kind of get income support and that kind of stuff, but like income support for people on a permanent basis who are coming here is different than people who are kind of like struggling and need a bit of help for a short period of time. Which is what it should be anyway. The problem is we've got too many people here, and I'm talking like people who are born and raised here who are just scrounging. I know loads of them. They just don't want to work. And they blag disability and all that kind of stuff as well. So the disabilities aren't legitimate, and they're getting payouts left, right, and centre. Galls me a bit, you know what I mean? You work hard for a living, and then people get things handed to them on a plate because they're blagging the system. They just know how to scam it. £37,000 is hard to earn. Guys, let me just mute you a second, okay? Because I've just got a call coming in. It's the second one that's come through, so let me just try and pick. Apparently I've sponsored some bullying campaign or something like that, or anti-bullying campaign. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah, I've got friends and family like that, mate. They're maxing out the disability allowances and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with them. Like I say, cash in hand jobs that they don't declare. But I know people who genuinely do have disabilities who get refused for things. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. It's like if you can, it's all about playing the system, isn't it? It's not about, like my mother-in-law. She's got really bad arms, and she has all this. She has all these kind of like issues with carpal tunnel syndrome and things, and I know it's a genuine problem for her because you only have to sit in a room with her for like 2 minutes, and she's like, ooh, ooh, ow, ooh, ooh, ooh. So like, there's issues, and she had her payments because she still works, but she was getting like a disability allowance or something like that, but it was like she was allowed to work 16 hours, and they basically turned around to her and told her that when she went for her interview to talk to them about it. When she walked into the interview, she was carrying a kind of a medium-sized bag on her shoulder, and it was bloody empty. Do you know what I mean? It was it was a fairly big handbag, but it was an empty. She didn't have anything in it apart from like a phone and a purse. and they refused a claim because of this bag. So she had to go and appeal it and do all this other kind of stuff, and it's just a faff. And then she had to go and get a lot of doctor's assessment. But the people who were reviewing it and saying yay or nay, the one who said, "Oh no, you got a bag on your shoulder," that weren't even a doctor. That was just like a review panel. So like, they ignored all the doctor's information and stuff, and they were just like, "No, you got a medium-sized bag on your shoulder. You know, you can't tell us you got bad shoulders while you're carrying a medium-sized bag. Well, you know, where is she going to carry all the stuff? You know, you just made her get on a bus and go into Birmingham. She's got to have like." You know, she's done a 45-minute bus ride to get to you. She's got to have something with her. So yeah, the whole thing's just ridiculous. And then you've got the like my dad. This is a terrible one. My dad, right? So bear in mind how many people are on the dole who have been on the dole forever, right? My dad's been a carpenter all his life. He's taxi drived. He's driven taxis. He's works as an engineer at the moment, like fitting out vehicles for the military and whatever. He does all these different things. Anyway, there was a period of time when he was working as a carpenter, and one of the companies he was working for did a load of layoffs. So he was like out of work for a bit. And while he was out of work, he went to the dole office to go and sign on. So he goes to the job centre, signs on. He's in his mid-50s by this point. And he's paid tax all his life, paid national insurance all his life, well, you know. And no word of a lie, they refused his job seekers allowance. They refused his payment because 15 years earlier, whilst he was doing taxi driving, whilst me and my sister and my brother were at school, he was doing taxi driving on the evenings. Whilst he was doing taxi driving, he missed one national insurance payment of 14 quid. So because he hadn't had uninterrupted national insurance payments, they refused his payout, which is absolutely grossly incompetent as a system. Do you know what I mean? It's like you literally pay into this thing your entire life, and then the one time you actually need it, and he's never claimed before. He's never claimed since. He's never claimed before. The one time you actually need it, they go, "Yeah, sorry, you missed a pay." And he was like, "How about I pay you the 14 quid now?" And you said, "Oh, it doesn't work like that. You've got to have uninterrupted payment history." Well, how do all these buggers do it who kind of like come out of school and go straight on the dole and never get a job? Do you know what I mean? It's like they've never even paid into the pot and they're still claiming on it. It's almost like you're being penalised for working. So what I think we need to do here is maybe getting political. Running for councillor soon. Now what they should do is, where they've got these shortage occupations, like all the manual labour and stuff, where they're saying about what do you call it now? Where we had all like the Polish labour force over here doing, and then obviously Brexit happened and they all left and disappeared. So there's like the shortage occupations for, the manual tasks that a lot of people think are beneath them and won't do, whilst they're sitting around scratching their asses at home watching a telly they haven't even paid for themselves. So these people who are and job seekers who are kind of like blagging the systems, basically, their job seekers allowance should be paid by the employers who need these jobs to do, and obviously they should have to then turn up and do the job. So the problem we found was when I worked in recruitment, I had people come to me to do a job for an interview, and they'd turn up for an interview and then accept a job and then not turn up for it because it didn't pay them to go to work. So like, if they go to work, they lose the benefits, and if they lose the benefits, they need more money than they were getting their paid employment to kind of make up the difference. So like they'd end up physically like out of pocket every month by working, which is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous situation. It should never be the case. So what they should do, in my head, is give people give people the benefits, give people the allowances and stuff that they're claiming for, but do it by, you go and do that job. We've got these vacancies available at the moment. You need to be doing that job. If you don't do the job, you don't get your money. So rather than sitting around being a kind of a drain on society, they can still contribute and not have to worry about losing out on on money and stuff like that and benefits. And then the companies who are looking for that work, the companies who need the employees, they pay their money to the government. And that way it's not all coming off the taxpayer. Companies are still paying a salary for a job they need filling, and the job gets filled, albeit by somebody who doesn't necessarily really want it. But when you're talking about packing in a warehouse, but I would also put KPIs on the individuals as well. Like, you've got to turn up and you've got to do the job properly. And if your employer turns around and says you're crap, you're not pulling your weight, you're lazy, then it'd have to be stopped again. So it would just be like work. It'd just be like being in work and having a performance review. Do you know what I mean? It'd be that same kind of principle, except your employer is the government. That's what we should do. I think that would solve multiple issues. It'd just piss off the people who are on the benefits, but. I thought you didn't have to pay a ris if you lived abroad for more than 3/4 of the year. So, no, sorry, more than 6 months. If you live abroad for more than 6 months, you're exempt, aren't you? So we used to have people who work for us as consultants, and they'd come here, work for us for 6 months, and they'd bought, because they were earning tons of money, they'd bought holiday homes abroad somewhere. And they'd come and work for us for 6 months, and then they'd, just before they were at the 6 month point, they'd up sticks and go off to St Lucia or somewhere like that, and go and live over there for a bit. I think one guy had a holiday home in Turkey he used to go to a lot. Another guy in Tenerife. They used to just disappear and go somewhere sunny for the winter. They work here during the summer, go somewhere nice during the winter, and live it up basically. What kind of hairdo should I give this one? Pigtails. You think for Druid? It's supposed to be snooty, so what kind of hairstyle says snooty? Go for a bun or something, maybe? Does the bun say snooty? Hotel manager. So she's supposed to be an apothecary druid, so Answer only, one without context. Semi-realistic, stylized, or Warhammer-esque? Without context. Ooh, I don't know. Not sure what semi-realistic, stylized kind of equates to, really. Warhammer-esque is, I mean, obviously, if you're familiar with Warhammer and we're talking miniatures, that would be something you could use, but I'd be concerned that you would end up with, you know, something that looked like a hammer. Semi-realistic, Diablo 2-ish. I mean, in that I'm going to go Diablo, to be fair, man. What, you thinking style or something, or? Come on, give me the context then. You can't leave me hanging. You know, if there's a right or wrong answer, you can just go with the right. You can go with the right answer. You haven't got to go with the one I just picked if it's the wrong answer. Hey, yeah, how are you doing? No worries. That's kids for you, that is. Yeah, good, thanks. Just, I say playing catch up. Just trying to juggle a few balls at the moment, trying to get these models made, get some videos up on YouTube, or the video yesterday sculpt at least. I've got supports to do, test prints to run, I've got prints to go on. It's busy times. So I'm trying to see if I can get this figure done inside of about 3 hours today, like I did yesterday's one. Otis meat, no, don't know what that is. What is it? Oh, an ear infection. Oh, that's never fun. Kids having ear infections is horrible, isn't it? She's going to be a halfling druid apothecary. I started her just under 2 hours ago now. Because she's a druid. Oh, did you see the one from yesterday? Yeah. We had obviously I didn't do it on stream because I was without internet yesterday for most of the morning. But I finished it just inside of 3 hours. The Halfling Burglar. I'll show you the figure. Little dude. Yeah, 3 hours on that guy. It was actually like 3.5 hours of sculpting, but the Zbrush crashed on me. So I'd lost half an hour of the I lost like half an hour of the actual work process, the sculpting process. Yeah, it's just like a concepting phase, isn't it? But obviously just trying to solidify everything and get it all viable as a miniature rather than trying to get it ready for topologizing and stuff. I finished watching Obliterated yesterday as well. It's a funny as hell series, that is. Can't watch it if you're even remotely prudish though. Yeah, noise. Hey Nerdist, how are you doing? You sneak away. Oh no, what time is it for you? You talking middle of the night, or are you trying to get a daytime nap? AM. Yeah, that's it's one of them. You wake up about that time, and then it's you want to go back to sleep, but you know you've got to get up immediately soon. Well, that was my experience at least this morning. There we go. A little bit of something to make it look a bit branchy. You haven't slept? You've been awake all night? You suffering from insomnia then, or have you like been on a night shift and just gone to bed? Let's give her a oh no, what are you working on? One of these, you got your brain's buzzing, is it? You try and get it all down on paper, get it out of your head. What, are you trying to balance it now, or feel like you're still writing content for it? Use a big ass brush for this bit. Less bland, cheeky DM. Really, is that link says Twitter? Is it still called Twitter? Do you know what, Sakura? If you need any help with that, feel free. You can post it on our Discord. See if you can post it up and see if anybody else wants to chip in and give you some assistance on it. We've got a little area for written content on the Discord server, so. Another one. You're the second person in a week who's hit the Discord server cap. I didn't even know that was a thing. It's like 1,000 or 2,000, isn't it? Depending on whether you got the premium version or not, the Nitro one. I can't even imagine having that many bloody servers live. It stresses me out thinking about it. Oh, is it only 100, is it? Even that's a lot though still. Yeah, I know, only 100. I mean, I've got like, I'm on like 10 or something like that, and I can't interact with them all. So I wouldn't even want to join more than that. You know, people and things. Oh, wrong one. So divide. Starts with the same letter, but it's not the same word. Divide and delete, very, very different. So you well, you know streamers, what they're all like. I can say that because I'm not a streamer. Well, I am. But only as a byproduct of what I'm doing. So I only ever do this for a bit of accountability to make sure I'm sculpting when I'm supposed to be sculpting. Well, I've got the button over there, go to my centre. I don't know if that's what you mean. Which bit are you talking about? Because I don't know what... Yeah, which bit are you talking about? The unmasked centre. What did I do that made you ask the question? No, I just had the whole thing centered. The whole thing was already in the center of the page, so all I did was, I'm going to show you again. So append the sphere. So it's already centered. So all I did was added some Dynamesh resolution so I can get a clean thing. Mask the top, invert the mask, and I'll just drag up. Re-Dynamesh. Redid the thing, invert that, tap the thing to go to the middle of it, and then just extrude the thing out. There you go, just like that. Yeah, it's just I just tapped that little, yeah, just tap the thing. Tap it. Tap it, tap it. So I wasn't sure which bit you were on about, because when you're saying about the mask, go to unmask center. Obviously I do use that quite often. Oh yeah, you're right, yeah, I could have done that. Is that all? I just do to invert the mask, but then I'd have to mask first. I'd have to control click to mask. Oh no, I'd have to control click to mask it first, and then alt click to unmask it. I mean, I don't think it really makes any difference, to be honest. It's about the same number of clicks either way, I think. If I'm thinking about it right. Unless I'm being a dumbass and missing something. That's Sakura, it's fine, don't worry about it. There's a bunch of us on here who are kind of sculpty, techie people. So we're all talking the same language here, but it's all miniature related, it's all to do with making a model, so. Yeah, if you control click off the model, it masks and unmasks everything like that. But if I want to unmask a certain portion, then I can do that and oh shit, it works. Do you know what? I genuinely didn't know that was a thing. Well, well, well. There we go. Learned something new there, yeah, thank you. I did not know that was a thing. Every day is a school day. See, that is why it's great having you guys on stream. Because we can all learn together. Oh yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah, I do that one. Shit. No, stop tessellating him. Fuck off. Right. Have I got? Yeah, if you're used to Photoshop, actually, Zbrush probably isn't a far cry from what you're used to. I think if you've done a lot of 3D Studio Max and Blender or any of those kind of other actual 3D packages, coming into Zbrush can feel really alien. But because if you think of Zbrush as a 2.5D package, oh yeah, thanks for the resub as well, by the way. The 2.5D nature of Blender of ZBrush means that, like, it's a 3D package that's designed for making 2D art with, except obviously you can still use the 3D models. So you're drawing onto the 3D models essentially. So it's, I mean, it's what I'm doing. I'm using a stylus and a drawing tablet and drawing straight onto the screen. Oh my god, I'm sweating in here. UV maps, eh? I don't do UV maps usually. What am I doing? Yeah, you're not wrong. I love the phrase broke potato. Fair enough. This is supposed to be like a bit of a heather or something like that, so, or some kind of random herby looking plant that could be used for medicine. Bill, good morning. How are you doing, matey? Ah, turds. She doesn't want people knowing that. She's got 2 of them in a bag. She's a snooty apothecary. What does that say about her personality, mate? First coffee poured. Nice one, mate. Nice one. I'm on my second of the day so far. What link are you talking about, mate? Is it CG Trader or? You can always post it in a private chat, mate. I think I've missed something here. What's this? What is this site? What's it for? I think it only gets you banned if I ban you. Oh right, cool. Everything you need ever. Like everything. Cheers, Riz. Bill, I never work for my artwork. This is all of this stuff comes straight out of my brain. So I'm concepting on the fly, doing everything dynamically. There's no concept. I've literally got a character description, and the character description is a female. In fact, it doesn't even say she's female. It says a snooty halfling druid, apothecary, with a colourful cloak. That's my description. So off that, I've got to try and figure out the rest of it and go. So I've been on this for 2.5 hours so far. Pretty much done. The only time you'll ever see me work from artwork is if I'm doing my crystal collapse stuff and I've got a concept on screen. Otherwise, there's no. There is no artwork. Oh, or if I'm doing like commission work for somebody and they've sent me artwork to work from. A bear hood? Oh, probably could, but it's going to take me a long time to do it, and I've got to. Oh guys, I'm going to pop you on a BRB for a second. I just got to pick up a call. Okay, I'm back, guys. I just had an idea, actually. I'm going to make her a bit more druidy. Yeah, I kind of like working in both ways, Bill. To be honest, it's nice sometimes to have a little bit of direction and a bit of an idea of what you're doing. Other days, it feels natural for me to just work like this now because I've done it for so long. Been a while since I saved, hasn't it? I better do it. Who did I sculpt that for? What's the problem with the array meshes, yeah? I've not played with them that much. Well, I've used them a little bit recently when I did the terrain pieces for crystal collapse, but I haven't really dabbled in them that much, so not really experienced any drama or issues with them. Yeah, no worries. Go get him. Let's give her some hands and call her done. Oh, Bart over on the Facebook page, thank you for the follow. It was about an hour ago, so I do apologise I'm a bit late. I think you came from the Baron's War page, didn't you? I think I remember seeing your comment on the I think George tagged me in. Right, let's get his new hand, or her new hand rather. Hand, female hand maybe. Female heads. Maybe hand female. It's a problem when your naming conventions are all over the place. Hand, fist grip female, maybe that's the one. It'll do. Yeah, it's one of those jobs you just get. They get so big and unwieldy, you're just going to put it off forever, aren't you? Though, I know I am. Have you got a timeline when you're going to be dropping your Patreon bill? Have you got it like planned and stuff, or? Ridge, you can start one anytime. You don't have to do it on the first of the month. They've done this thing now where billing can happen anytime. So your billing doesn't have to come out on the first of the month. So if you're thinking of starting a Patreon, there's no bad time to start one. Well, from a timings point of view, from a kind of an industry perspective point of view, I'd say obviously it's 3 years too late, but at the same time, extra streams of revenue never hurt anybody, did they? But you've got to obviously be aware that monthly commitment's a kicker. You can do it in a different format actually. You don't have to do monthly releases. You can do pay on release kind of thing. So people pay when you release content rather than the first of the month thing. Oh, you wouldn't do it for minis. What would you do it for? Oh, right, off fair dues then. I mean, it'd be worth having a look at Patreon now, for you especially, not having any kind of previous in terms of stores and things, because they've now incorporated a store into Patreon, so you can do all your Patreon stuff, and I believe you can sell your past products through the online store. So you don't even need to go outside of Patreon now, I don't think. Which, if they'd have done that a couple of years ago, My Mini Factory wouldn't even be a thing now. My Mini Factory managed to capitalise on Patreon only doing half a job. Not giving you the means to actually distribute rewards properly. Yeah, I mean Patreon. My Mini Factory charges you a monthly fee. You have to pay $25 a month for your My Mini Factory store. So obviously, if you're not selling that much content through there, you end up out of pocket until you are up and running. Patreon takes money out of your pocket as well, obviously for every subscriber. But My Mini Factory also does the same thing, where they take the same cut as Patreon, I think, pretty much. So it's neither here nor there between the two of them. The only good thing My Mini Factory's got going for it is they have a lot of footfall through the site, so you do get some passive sales. Well, I'm calling this lovely lady done. Just going to close these little gaps up around her ears. Yeah, rather. Oh, Frontier sucks ass, doesn't it? It's not even a thing. Don't even entertain that. It's rubbish. As I found out to my expense. So there we go, guys. One lovely little halfling druid in 3 hours. There we go. I mean, obviously, I scalped the stuff. Oh, Frontiers takes way less build because they don't promote it. It's all down to you to promote. So, unfortunately, if you do a shitty job of promoting yourself, and you're hoping a Frontiers campaign is going to drag your footfall through, it just isn't. My manufacturer will do absolutely squat to assist. No, you just don't. It's just they don't like with Kickstarter, and I've shown the figures on my thing before on my stream several times now. What you find is the figures with Kickstarter. When Kickstarter goes live, you get a front page hosting. You get emails go out to people who are interested in the kinds of campaign that you're launching. You get featured in various different places on the site that people will pick up. You've got what's that? Kick Track as well, where people get notified through a third party app where they can kind of follow things. You've got all this like internal inherent means of letting people know that things are there, because they want people to kind of see the things they want, so they back it and they make money. My manufacturer kind of go in, we've given you the platform, we'll take our cut, but we're not going to help you. Unless you're one of the big boys who's going to pay us a shit ton of money. Because they've now gone to like a paid advertising model. So if you're willing to pay my manufacturer to advertise your thing, they'll probably do it, if they've got advertising slots available. But the advertising slots are always going to be handed out to their preferred regulars rather than, you know, just any old person who wants to back. Like the last time I had an advertising slot booked with them, my advertising slot got kicked because somebody else was running. I was advertising. It was a flash sale. I was advertising a flash sale for my store, and I was waiting for it to go live, and I was like, "Where's my advertising?" And they were like, "Oh, somebody's running a Frontier and wanted advertising, so we've booted your slot." Like, cheers, thanks. You know, way to make me feel valued, dickhead. So, yeah, that's what I say. I won't give them the time of the day if I can help it. Well, let's copy this lady. Don't know why I said it like that, lady. She's going to want to be like 22mm at the top of the head. There we go. One more down. You gotta get going, have you? No worries, take it easy, look after the little one. Let's get rid of this. Ruler. What are you concepting, Riz? Oh, nice. Oh, I forget that's what you do, innit? Oh no, it's bedtime. So no Zbrush on. Yeah, of course you can, Riz. Send it over, let's see it. Always happy to have a mooch. Try out something new. You like it for rendering. Let's download it and give it a swizzle then, let's see. Riz, are they both the same, mate, or slightly different? Okay, let's try them. Okay, they are. Oh, hang on. I need to select a ship material I don't want, don't I? Because it replaces one otherwise. I've done this a couple of times and I load a material in and it'll overwrite the one I'm actively using. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's a bit like the outliner one, isn't it? That one. Let's try a different one. Yeah, that one's nice. Yeah, I do quite like that one. It's got a nice, almost like a dry brush look, hasn't it? When you're looking at it. It's like the raised areas are picking up the, like a white highlight, and the shadows have got this like this bluish grey going on. Yeah, it's quite nice, that is, man. We'll try a different renderer, actually. Let's try it with the default renderer. I think I prefer it with the default renderer rather than the one that does the the contrast enhancement. Let's try it with something. That's nonsense, isn't it? What was that? I don't want to figure it out. I tell you, some of these renderers are bloody awful. Like, I can't believe people actually would use them either. What's this one you send it over is? Is it a render plugin? Is it a render set? How do I open one? Render. Ah, load. Nope, not having it, mate. Have you done yours? Is this from a this from a what do you call it one? 2024 or whatever. Oh dear, right. What version are you using of Zbrush at the moment? Because if you're using a more recent one than 2022, it might just be a version incompatibility issue. Right. I'm going to switch over. That's a bugger, isn't it? Right, I'm going to switch over. We're going to go and do the render output on this one. I've already rendered out the rest of them. Riz, if you can get the settings, I can just key the settings in. The filter, the render filters. BPR filters, isn't it? You just put the different things on there. I've got an interesting one here actually. It's I'll show you it, but it was called this on so much NPR. So I was trying to find one that would be I was looking to do like non-photorealistic. So I saw some really nice effects done with it, and I just couldn't. I think I've come to the conclusion that you actually need to sculpt it to be used with this stuff. What's that, Aid? Use the Unreal Engine? Never even considered the idea, to be honest. Is there a limit on the file size of the things you can import into there? Because I know that might be one of the kind of limiters. No, Riz. Yeah, I've been, mate. It won't take it off you. I say, backwards compatibility is just another thing, is it? Well, I'll save this little lady there and then make sure we're done, and then I'm going to shut Zbrush and we're going to do a bit of lychee. Yeah, I think what you'll find now though is there'll be a lot of people like me who are just kind of going, no, I'm sticking with me, what you call it, my 2022, and then there'll be other people who have gone on with the subscription service. So there's going to be a kind of a divide in the marketplace, isn't there? Well, let's do Netfab first. Yeah, I keep getting error messages every time I try and import Riz's render setup, mate. So we think it's a version compatibility issue from me using 2022 and Riz using 2023 or whatever the current version is. nice. One minor issue across all of them. I'm pretty happy with that. That's a win and a half. That is. Rename some files. Cheers, Riz. Might experiment with some colour variations on it as well, because the blue's nice, but it's not on my branding, so I'll have a little gander and see if I can tweak it a bit. Guys, I'm just going to put you on mute a sec because the wife's just called in. There we go. Right, I'm going to knock this on the head in a bit, guys, because the wife's back home and she's doing us some lunch, so I'm going to go and do a little bit of this. So I'm lifting the models so they're about 5mm off. So we've angled them first. Lift them all. We want it at least 5mm on the Z axis, so that gives us a little bit of space underneath, which basically just allows the supports to form and kind of give it a bit of distance between the plate where you can separate it off nicely. If you're shorter than that, you can have a bit of difficulty sometimes getting them to like come off the lower supports because you haven't got any kind of leverage on them. 5mm is perfect really, so I'm going to go to prepare. Island and search selected. Got my medium support selected, which is 0.24 tip, 0.24mm tip. Tip length of 2mm and diameter of 1mm. It's taking a while because there's like 5 models on there, but okay. Let's start with the Cycling Priestess. So we're just going to go in, pick up the lowest island there, which is this foot. We're going to go 1 support on a corner. Corner? Do you have a corner of a foot? I'm going to do a little cluster like that. And I'm just going to run a little line up the one side. And then I'm going to put 1 in the middle of the foot, just to kind of help. We'll do the same on this foot. So pick up the corner island, or the lowest island. Do a little cluster of them. I'm going to run a few supports around this part. Just put 1 in the middle. And 1 on the bottom of the staff. Maybe 2. Maybe 3. Let's go 3. Okay, so that's the feet addressed. I'm going to put a couple on here. Just on the tip. We'll go 1 there. Connecting. I'm going to tree these all together now, so I want to this is where the Pro version comes in handy, because you can reorientate everything. Out of Pro mode, sorry, out of Advanced Edit mode. Bottom of the tail here, where we've got a large island, we're going to put a cluster of supports. What we want with these ones is we want the bodies of the supports to be touching. In fact, you know what, we can make them pillars. So making them pillars makes them dead straight. Going to put a couple just going up here. Now with these ones that are superficial details, as in they're sitting on the surface, we can just put one support to them. Anything that looks like it's load bearing, we want a few supports into them. By load bearing, I mean it's got the weight of a limb on it or something like that, or weight of a body on it. So these lowest ones, good examples of load bearers. Put a couple on them. Sometimes if I can't pick up an existing support, I'll just rejoin it, well, create a new one. Ideally I want to connect to an existing support wherever possible. As I say, it's not always possible, so just do what you got to do. Right, I can use mini supports, but I don't like using mini supports. The reason I don't like using mini supports is because they don't break away as cleanly. So these supports that I'm putting on at the moment, the proper full size supports, they're just going to snap away from the model. So when I'm doing my clean up on them, you get a nice clean break, and there'll be little to no like residual bit of resin left on the model, as in like support material. got some more crystal collapse models I need to get painted, but I'd really like to paint this model as well soon. In fact, I'd like to paint a lot of the ones I've done this month. I quite enjoyed doing them. Right, this one was going to thicken up the diameter of. Any that are really long, you want a thicker diameter, because over a long distance, unless you brace it with more supports, they're liable to bend and warp, which obviously we don't want. That looks close to me, that does, but I could be wrong. I think it's alright actually. As long as it's not overexposed when you're printing it, I think that'll come out right. I'm going to connect that there. I don't think it's going to matter hugely. You can't remove it. Well, I'm hoping that's enough. We'll get her on a test print and we'll see. Alright guys, I'm going to log off now. I'm going to go and have some dinner with my wife. Lunch. My little Leonard is shouting at me now. She hates it when you get lunch and dinner and everything else confused. She has very firm ideas about which one's which. I'm a little bit more fluid. But pretty much any meal after breakfast can be like dinner for me. Right. I'll be back on stream tomorrow. We're going to carry on with the rest of these Elf Song Tavern bods. Let me just check what tomorrow's one is. Let me mark these ones as done. So Willow Brown Bug complete. Lala Stout, Halfling Burglar complete. So we've got a Drunk Shipwright, the Impoverished Playwright, and a Gregarious Astrologer who loves to gamble. So a nice interesting little set. Okay then guys, let's clock this one off then. Let's do a little raid out. Let's go on into Mike. Okay guys, so thank you all for joining me today. I'll be back again tomorrow. We're going to go and see Mr. Mike Moans right now. Let's go drop in and say hi. I don't know what that means, Riz, but thank you. Hopefully I'll see you guys again tomorrow. So let's get ready to jump ship. 3, 2, 1. See you later, taters. Adios, people.